Greetings, this is Toilet. Today's hypothesis is going to be really interesting, and I believe a lot of people have thought about it as well. However, I chose to think about how this event may actually occur with the return of iconic, long-gone figures. We are all aware that DAFUQBOOM never fails to wow us, even when it appears that he has nothing more to offer. After all, a lot has transpired in the course of the show's 72 episodes, and the fact that I and the other viewers still find the plot to be interesting indicates that he handles everything deftly and correctly. Furthermore, we are aware that DAFUQBOOM enjoys using numerical magic and is often experimenting with new ways to display the leaks. However, prior to episode 50, we were limited to seeing vintage frame leaks from him by himself. Subsequently, Boom has been able to provide numerous YouTubers with unique content for the past 22 episodes, frequently in the form of troll leaks. However, out of all of this variation, the puzzle leak that we saw before to the release of episode 70's Part 3 is, by far, the most recent and interesting leak that is most remembered. Remember how awesome it was when viewers could only decipher the meaning of the photo bit by bit, rather than all at once, when YouTubers obtained the leaks in segments? And when they all got together, they all began talking about who was going to die. That is to say, considering all of these details as well as the fact that DAFUQBOOM started to pique viewers' interest in his episodes in intriguing ways, there is one logical conclusion. Before the 80th episode airs, we should probably also anticipate the same puzzle leak or another, even more intriguing kind of leak, in which some information and a few accurate answers will be revealed once more. But why do I believe that this time, instead of any character dying, there will be a spectacular comeback? Friends, I'm going to tell you about it immediately. In episode 80, I'll address the subject of why I think that former characters will make a comeback. The current state of the series inspired me to think this, and by this, I don't just mean the triple death in episode 70. Rather, I mean the direction in which the plot takes after this one. I believe that everyone will concur that the plot took a sharp turn for the worse as soon as the agents arrived at the main facility. The hypotheses where cameraman Titan dies or becomes infected were seldom taken seriously by viewers before, but now they seem the most likely. There are also rumors that even Gimon might not make it till episode 80 due to the increased rivalry between Astro Toilets and Skibidi Toilets. Ultimately, let me remind you that we recently noticed the number 74 in a leak, which most likely indicates that Gimon or Astro Toilet will die in 2 episodes. However, I believe that even in that case, Gimon, my top choice, would inevitably make a comeback to the series, and it is highly possible that the unfinished final project of the scientist in the container will enable him to do so. Naturally, Plunger and Dark Speaker are my next 2 choices, and I believe they have a possibility to make a comeback to the series. Plunger is most likely in a ghostly state, similar to the twin, but in the case of Dark Speaker, I'm not sure because we've never seen the Speaker Man race serve as secret spy sidekicks. Cameraman, therefore it's highly probable he'll be back. Interestingly, Dark Speaker turned transparent, exactly like Plunger, prior to entering the scientist's office. This indicates that Secret Agent is technically capable of bringing Dark Speaker Man back to life. The second well-known figure on my list of epic comebacks is Skibidi Cameraman, and everything is very obvious in this case. I don't even need to explain. As you recall from the previous video, I already said that it's highly possible that this enigmatic figure that DAFUQBOOM started to frequently appear in various places throughout episodes is him. In any case, he is roughly on par with Plunger among today's contenders in terms of expectations for his return to the series, even if he isn't. No, there is in fact another character. However, there is more information about him near the conclusion. The Skibidi scientist is currently waiting in line. Because of his significant influence in the Skibidi Toilets industry, I couldn't resist including him on this list since he will undoubtedly be a candidate. But I think this figure is dead, and it would be very dangerous to bring him back. For instance, in Plunger, if a secret agent's computer has an artificial ghost world that presents a loophole for returning the scientist DAFUQBOOM, then this option must first be supported by a dramatic plot twist. Secondly, it must be done exquisitely for it to be effective. does not appear to be a means of creating enthusiasm while ignoring the story and reasoning from the outside. Furthermore, there is an additional piece of information that subtly supports this. If you visit the official DAFUQBOOM store, you will observe that while the collection section features several well-known characters, such as Gimon, it does not feature any scientists. This indicates that the scientist's story is already finished, but Duke has grand ideas for Gimon and other characters. Furthermore, you have to admit that such a return would be pointless given that the Alliance was attending this event for nearly the entire series. And it's difficult to recall how many agents perished as a result of this scientist. Furthermore, it would diminish the significance of any death at all since, by this reasoning, anybody may theoretically return, which is obviously bad for the series. Now, let's move on to our next contender, who is, of course, a group of people of a single race rather than just a single figure. Only a few of the show's early episodes feature humans, and for a very long period no one discussed them at all. However, things changed once DAFUQBOOM brought them up once more in episodes 69 and 70. And if there were only skeletons in the first 69 episodes, then in the following 70 episodes, they appeared as a picture taken with the undercover agent. This is our understanding of the laboratory scientists prior to the Skibidi Toilet invasion. It's a reality that practically all people have gone extinct, but there's always a chance that a tiny remnant of them may still exist. Boom said maybe when asked if Secret Agent had had a body by Russian YouTuber Pharrell. And based on his response, it appears that he is not in a rush to divulge any information just now. Ultimately, there is very little chance that even one person is still alive, if it turns out that the single person we have seen who isn't in the picture doesn't actually exist. In case you haven't seen my previous video regarding the non-human nature of the secret spy, I highly recommend watching it immediately following this one. It will undoubtedly appeal to you. The final character I wanted to discuss with you is this one. It should come as no surprise that I will discuss the Skibidi Cat. Yes, the one about whom all other YouTubers have been too cowardly to talk recently. With DAFUQBOOM's response, it all began anew. When asked if he would come back on the show, Skibidi Cat replied that he might. Additionally, more recently, when the upgraded Astro Toilet. As the mask materialized, watchful spectators observed a white sign above his head, and this object resembles a cat's paw, as you can see. I'll even say this. A few of my visitors began sending me videos like this one, which had the phrase meow written at the bottom. In essence, you can tell it's a meow even if you're not listening, which is obviously not the case. We strongly want to believe this notion, therefore it's likely that our brain is already telling us that it is meowing. Nevertheless, this theory makes sense, in theory, regardless of how ridiculous it may appear. Consider what we have observed, after all. Scientists, and the cooperation with Skibidi Toilets. What if the Skibidi Cat was the one who created the Astro Toilet race and led them? Although they act as though they are a superior race and ought to control the Skibidi Toilets, the nasty, meowing Skibidi Cat is actually hiding behind that reddish mask and tricking everyone. Friends, this subject is already worthy of its own video. All of that for now. Remember to subscribe to the channel and view my other videos. Goodbye.